Last month, I watched a guy pay $22,000 for a 2018 Honda CR-V with 85,000 miles on it. 2 days later, I bought a 15-year-old car for $6,500 that'll outlast that CR-V by 200,000 miles. And I'm about to tell you why that old car is worth more than 3 new ones combined. I've been turning wrenches for 18 years, and I've noticed something that should terrify every car buyer out there. People are convinced that newer means better, safer, more reliable. Meanwhile, I'm watching these so-called modern marvels fall apart at 120,000 miles, while 3 older cars from the early 2000s are hitting 400,000 like it's nothing. These aren't project cars. These aren't beaters. I'm talking about vehicles you can buy right now for under $8,000 that will run longer and cost less to maintain than anything sitting on a dealership lot today. And the craziest part? One of these 3 cars is so ignored that I've bought 5 of them over the last decade. Not for resale, for my own family. Here's what dealerships and car reviewers won't tell you. The used car market right now is completely backwards. People are paying premium prices for cars engineered to fail right after the warranty expires, while genuinely bulletproof vehicles sit ignored because they don't have the right badge or the latest touchscreen. I see it every single day in my shop. Someone rolls in with a 2015 crossover they paid 18 grand for, and it needs $3,000 in repairs at 90,000 miles. Turbos failing, transmission slipping, electronics going haywire. Then I'll get a call from my brother asking if his 2006 sedan with 280,000 miles needs anything besides an oil change. And the answer is no. The market has convinced people that complexity equals quality, that newer technology means better reliability. It's the biggest lie in the automotive industry right now. Car manufacturers aren't stupid. They know exactly how long their vehicles will last, and they've done the math. Keep you on the hook for repairs, keep you buying new cars every 5 to 7 years. But these 3 older cars I'm about to show you, they weren't designed that way. They were built during an era when over-engineering was still a thing. Today, I'm counting down 3 older cars that are absolute gold mines. These aren't project cars. These aren't good-for-the-price compromises. I'm talking about vehicles you can buy right now for under $8,000 that will run 300,000 miles with basic maintenance. Car number 3 is the one dealerships refuse to take on trade-ins because they can't explain to buyers why something that old is worth owning. Number 2 is banned from some mechanic shop betting pools because it's too reliable and nobody ever wins. And number 1, that's the one I've staked my family's safety on for the last 8 years. I drive it every single day, and I'd buy another one tomorrow if mine got totaled. These cars share one thing in common. They were all built before manufacturers figured out planned obsolescence. Let's get into it. At number 3, we've got a car that dealerships literally refuse to take on trade-ins. 6 months ago, a customer came in asking me to inspect a 2012 Nissan Altima he found for $9,000. 73,000 miles, clean Carfax, looked great in photos. I did the pre-purchase inspection and found a CVT transmission that was already starting to whine. I told him straight up, "You're about to buy a car that'll need a $4,000 transmission in the next 2 years." He asked what I'd buy instead. I pulled up my phone and showed him a 2008 Buick LaCrosse with 112,000 miles for $5,800. He looked at me like I was insane. A Buick? That's a grandpa car. I told him to drive it anyway. He bought it. That was 6 months ago. Total repairs so far? $83 for an oil change and air filter. Here's what nobody tells you about the LaCrosse with the 3800 Series 2 V6. Dealerships won't touch these on trade because they can't sell the story. It's a Buick. It looks boring. It doesn't have a backup camera or Bluetooth. But that engine? It's the same bulletproof 3800 that GM put in everything from Bonnevilles to Impalas for nearly 30 years. This motor is so over-engineered that reaching 300,000 miles is expected, not impressive. And right now, you can find clean examples for under $7,000. Compare that to a same-year Camry or Accord, and you're looking at 12 to 15 grand for the same mileage. The 3800 doesn't have a timing belt to replace. It uses a timing chain that'll outlast the rest of the car. The 4-speed automatic is simple, proven, and cheap to service if you ever need it. I've seen these engines run to 400,000 miles on nothing but oil changes. The most expensive repair I've ever done on one was a water pump at 190,000 miles, $640 parts and labor. Compare that to a Honda Accord V6 from the same era, where a timing belt service alone runs $800. If you're shopping for one, here's what to check. First, look for any signs of intake manifold coolant leaks. There's a gasket that can seep after 150,000 miles, but it's a $200 fix. Second, check the power steering pump for whining. If it's noisy, walk away unless they knock off $300. Third, avoid any LaCrosse with the North Star V8. Stick with the 3800 V6 only. But if you think that's overlooked, wait till you hear about number 2. This one is so reliable, it's actually boring to work on. Number 2 is a car we actually banned from our shop's reliability betting pool. Here's how that worked. Whenever a car came in over 250,000 miles, we'd bet on what would fail first. Transmission, engine, suspension, whatever. One guy kept choosing this car, and he kept losing money because nothing ever broke. Last year, I had one roll in with 347,000 miles, original engine, original transmission. The owner wanted a pre-road trip inspection because he was driving from Ohio to California. I put it on the lift, expecting to find something, anything that needed attention. I found nothing. He made that trip, came back, and sent me a picture at 352,000 miles. That's when I realized this car made me suspicious because it was too reliable. I actually started questioning whether I was missing something. I'm talking about the 2006 to 2011 Mercury Grand Marquis and Ford Crown Victoria, the Panther Platform. And I know what you're thinking. That's a cop car, that's a taxi, that's what my grandfather drove. Exactly. That's why you can buy a clean, low-mileage example right now for under $6,000. The market ignores these because Mercury went bankrupt, and the Crown Vic looks like it escaped from 1985. But here's the secret. This platform shares the same basic engineering as the Lincoln Town Car, which sold for $45,000 new. You're getting the same frame, same drivetrain, same build quality for a fraction of the price. A 2010 Grand Marquis with 80,000 miles will run you $5,500. A same-year Toyota Camry with similar mileage, 12 to 14 grand. The 4.6-liter V8 in these cars is bulletproof. It's a single overhead cam design, no variable valve timing, no direct injection, no turbo, just a simple, under-stressed V8 that makes 224 horsepower and will run forever. The 4-speed automatic is equally unkillable. I've done exactly 2 transmission rebuilds on Panther platforms in 18 years. Both were ex-police cars with over 400,000 miles. The most expensive repair I've seen on a civilian Grand Marquis was a fuel pump at 210,000 miles. $480. And here's the bonus nobody talks about. These cars get 24 miles per gallon on the highway. For a full-size V8 sedan, that's shockingly good. If you're shopping, check the rear air suspension on the higher trim levels. It can fail and cost about $1,000 to fix, or $300 if you convert to regular coil springs. Target the 2006 to 2011 models and expect to pay between $4,000 and $7,000 depending on mileage. Avoid anything that was a taxi or police interceptor unless you're comfortable with hard use. All right, that's number 2. But number 1 is the car I'd buy tomorrow if mine got totaled. This is the one mechanics fight over at auctions. Real quick, if this kind of straight talk is saving you from a $15,000 mistake, hit that subscribe button right now. I've got videos coming on which so-called reliable cars are actually money pits, which newer models are engineered to fail, and which cheap aftermarket parts are better than OEM. Dealerships hate when this information gets out because it kills their profit margins, but you deserve to know the truth before you sign anything. All right, let's talk about number 1. This is my personal pick, and I'm about to show you why. Number 1 is the car sitting in my driveway right now. I bought it 8 years ago with 92,000 miles for $7,800. It's a 2007 Toyota Avalon Limited. Today, it has 216,000 miles on it, and here's every single dollar I've spent beyond oil changes and tires. One set of brake pads at 140,000 miles, $320, a battery at 178,000, $140, and an alternator at 203,000, $410. That's it. 870 total in 8 years and 124,000 miles. I've put my wife and kids in this car for road trips, daily commutes, winter storms, everything. That's how much I trust it. If it got totaled tomorrow, I'd buy another Avalon before the insurance check cleared. 3 years ago, a woman came into my shop looking for advice on a used car. Mid-40s, professional, 60-mile daily commute. She had her heart set on a Camry or an Accord, budget around 15 grand. I asked if she'd considered an Avalon. She actually laughed. She said, "That's what my grandmother drives." I walked her outside and pointed at my car, told her the mileage, told her what I'd spent. She didn't believe me, so I showed her the maintenance records on my phone. She test drove one the next week and bought a 2008 Avalon XLE for $11,000 with 3 years ago, a woman came into my shop looking for advice on a used car. Mid-40s, professional, 60-mile daily commute. She had her heart set on a Camry or an Accord, budget around 15 grand. I asked if she'd considered an Avalon. She actually laughed. She said, "That's what my grandmother drives." I walked her outside and pointed at my car, told her the mileage, told her what I'd spent. She didn't believe me, so I showed her the maintenance records on my phone. She test drove one the next week and bought a 2008 Avalon XLE for $11,000 with 83,000 miles. I got a text from her 6 months ago. She's at 167,000 now, 0 issues. Her exact words were, "Why doesn't anyone talk about this car?" Here's the secret. The Avalon shares its entire platform, its 3.5-liter V6 and its transmission with the Lexus ES 350. Same assembly line in Kentucky, same parts, same bulletproof 2GR FE engine that Toyota put in everything from Camrys to Highlanders. This engine doesn't have the direct injection problems of newer models. No turbo to fail, no timing belt to replace, just a timing chain that lasts the life of the motor. I've personally seen 3 of these go past 400,000 miles on original drivetrains. The market ignores them because the average buyer is 67 years old. It's an old person car, which means you can steal them. A 2010 Avalon XLE with 75,000 miles runs about 10 to 12 grand. A 2010 Lexus ES 350 with the same miles, 19 to 22,000. Mechanically identical. The Lexus has softer leather. That's it. Compare it to a Camry and it's even worse. A 2010 Camry XLE with 75,000 will cost you 13 to 15 grand, and you're getting a smaller car with fewer features. Before you buy, check for any dashboard cracks on 2005 to 2008 models. Toyota extended the warranty on that. And test the touchscreen if it has one. If you want a full-size highway cruiser, this is it. Skip it if you care what people think about your car. So there it is, 3 cars the market forgot, but mechanics didn't. A Buick LaCrosse with the bulletproof 3800 V6, a Panther Platform that refuses to die no matter how hard you drive it, and a Toyota Avalon that's basically a Lexus ES for half the price. You now know 3 cars you can buy for under $8,000 that'll outlast vehicles triple their cost. Here's the thing nobody talks about. Newer doesn't mean better. Complexity doesn't mean advanced. And expensive definitely doesn't mean reliable. The market rewards marketing, not engineering. Car companies have figured out exactly how long they need their vehicles to last to maximize profit. Just past warranty, just long enough to trade in. These three cars were built before that became the strategy. They were over-engineered because that's what companies did back then. The market punishes them for being old and boring, but you just got the truth. I know what you're thinking, but what about modern safety features? What about technology? Fair question. Here's my answer. I'd rather be in a well-maintained 2008 Avalon with fresh brakes and good tires than a 2019 Nissan with a CVT that's about to grenade itself on the highway. Safety isn't just airbags and lane keep assist, it's reliability. A car that doesn't leave you stranded in the middle of nowhere at night is a safe car. Besides, all three of these have stability control, traction control, and solid crash test ratings. They're not death traps, they're just older. And older, in this case, means simpler and more dependable. Next time a salesman tries pushing you toward a certified pre-owned with a warranty you'll never use, you'll know better. Now, if you want to know which newer cars have already earned legendary status, the ones mechanics are actually buying right now for their own families, I just dropped that video. Link's right here. Subscribe for more truth dealerships won't tell you. I've got more coming on the cars to avoid, the ones that look reliable but aren't, and the maintenance myths that are costing you thousands. I'll see you in the next one.